see. Just like flies, look out. Here comes the Spider-Man.
Alright YouTube, it is the Bat Nerd, and I am here with a movie review for you. Not meant to rhyme, but it did. So, today I am reviewing Spider-Man Far From Home. So, this is, directed by John Watts, who directed, the previous movie, Spider-Man Homecoming. This was written by Chris McKenna and Eric Summers, starring Tom Holland, Samuel Jackson, Zendaya, Cody Schmolder, Jon Favreau, J.B. Smoothes, Jacob Batalon, Martin Starr, Marissa Tomei, and Jake Gyllenhaal. Okay, so for this one, as you probably know already, it is a spoiler review. So, the gloves and the goggles are coming off, because this is all going to be spoiler for you. So, I will give you a couple seconds. If you have not seen Spider-Man Far From Home, then I strongly advise you to click away from this video right now and go see the movie. Or, if you want to see my review and thoughts on this, I have a spoiler review right up here in the cards below, or at the end of this video. But either way, if you don't want to know exactly what happens in Spider-Man Far From Home and you haven't seen it, you don't want to know any spoilers, then yes, click away now. So go on, I will give you a quick second to click away from this video, go see the movie or my spoiler-free review. Okay, so, right, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, what happens next is your own doing. Here comes the spoilers. So, this is the 23rd installment of the MCU and the conclusion to Phase 3. So, basically in this movie, we open where Nick Fury and Maria Hill discover in this Mexican village that a cyclone came and destroyed their village, and then this earth creature known as the Elementals appear, and then Mystiro comes in and cleans up the town. Then we discover, meanwhile, Peter Parker, all his fellow students are, this is like after the snap. So, because they did a 5-year time jump, and as you know, everyone got turned to dust. And, people got dusted away. Of course, for teenagers that got dusted away, they didn't age at all when they were brought back from the snap, but kids that did aged 5 years. And so, people were right in assuming that Parker and his friends got snapped away too, along with him, because they're still teenagers. Anyway, they go on a school field trip to Europe. Peter wants a break from being Spider-Man for a while, and Aunt May, she's in on it this time, given how the last movie ended. So yes, he goes to Europe, starting in Venice, where he comes across one of the water elemental, and then finds Mystiro, and then Mystiro turns out to be working with Nick Fury and Maria Hill. They, explain the situation that Mystiro is from another Earth, and it gives people the theory of multiverse. And then, next thing, after they defeat water, they tell them that there's 4 elementals: fire, earth, wind, and air. Obviously, Mystiro kills air off screen, followed by earth, which he's about to destroy in the opening scene. Then we get water when they're in Venice, and then they, have to stop the biggest and the strongest one, fire, and they succeed. And of course, Stark's in death gives Peter some glasses that he wanted him to have, so he can control Edith, which is the new Jarvis, of course, because Jarvis became Vision. They also have a tribute to all those people at the beginning of the movie, Stark and Black Widow and Vision, because they're like dead for good. Yeah, I did say this is a spoiler review. So yes, anyhow, yeah, Peter gets entrusted with these glasses and basically has access to Edith, and then after he has a heart-to-heart with Mystiro in the aftermath of defeating the fire elemental, he hands the glasses over to him and access to Edith. And then we discover that Mystiro isn't quite the hero we thought, because it is all illusions. Yes, and Mystiro isn't from a parallel Earth. Turns out he got screwed over by Tony Stark when he introduced that technology. You know, in the scene in Civil War when we see that simulation of young Tony Stark and holograms, yes, turns out that was technology of Quentin Beck, aka Mystiro, and turns out that he and all these people he's working with were screwed over by Stark Industries. Do excuse me a moment. Talking in this voice really strains it. As I was saying, basically they want to, think now that Tony Stark's dead, they can now use their technological know-how to better themselves and stage all these disasters so that Mystiro can take credit for it and be a hero and be the next Iron Man. And of course, Parker soon works that out when MJ manages to get a piece of his drones, which have a holographic projection, and works out that, oh shit, he just gave a valuable computer system to Quentin Beck, and that he's gonna cause all kinds of chaos, and he does. But Parker is not gonna let that happen because, they go from Venice to Prague, and then Berlin, and then the big showdown in London at the Tower Bridge with a massive, powerful elemental, which is all an illusion, of course, because that's what Mystiro is known for. And of course, if you know Spider-Man as well as I do, you will know that Mystiro isn't to be trusted. He is a full-on villain, and that's exactly what he was in this movie. And of course, Peter Parker defeats him, and, next thing, he saved the world, and after that he returns home and becomes the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man again, and his love interest, MJ, she works out that he's Spider-Man. His good friend Ned, the fat kid is already, good friends, with him and knows his secret. Yeah, so I think that's all I've given away. Oh, and there is a mid-credit scene where Parker is flying through New York with MJ, who's in on the whole thing now, and they've started a relationship. And on a news reporting screen, Mystiro kind of gets the last laugh as he reveals Parker's secret. Of course, you will have seen in the trailers that he knew who Spider-Man was. And then we get a cameo from, wait for it, drum roll, J.K. Simmons appears in a cameo as Jonah J. Jameson. Yes, J. Jonah Jameson. He appears in a mid-credit cameo, reprising that role that he hasn't played in over 12 years. Yes, J.K. Simmons returns, and he said that he would always want to reprise that role in the MCU, and he so has. And if they do another Spider-Man movie, which I know they're going to, he will surely become, get more screen time in this. Do excuse me. So, I've already done my spoiler review. I'm filming my spoiler review and spoiler-free review back to back. Okay, so, yes, and then there is a post-credit scene where Nick Fury and Maria Hill are listening to the specials, A Message to You, Rudy, which is a classic tune, and I do like that song. Where they're driving in London, and it turns out that it's not Maria Hill, and it's not Nick Fury, it's Tellus and his wife, the Skrulls from Captain Marvel. Yes, they make cameo in this too in the post-credit scene. Then we discover that Nick Fury is actually taking a break on a Skrull ship. Yeah, the real Nick Fury's taking a break. So poor Peter Parker had to have his vacation hijacked by Nick Fury, which in fact wasn't Nick Fury. It was Talos, and it was the Skrull from Captain Marvel. Okay, so that's all I think I need to tell you, because this is a spoiler review. Now on to my likes and dislikes. First of all, I liked Tom Holland in this. He was great as Peter Parker / Spider-Man. You know, a geeky kid, but still great as Spider-Man. I also liked Zendaya as MJ. She's clearly a reincarnation of Mary Jane Watson, but of course with rights and what have you with Sony, they had to revamp her and stuff, which I get. I liked Jake Gyllenhaal as Mystiro as well. He was pretty cool, but I was not fooled for 1 second. I knew that Mystiro was going to be a villain, and I was so right in assuming that, because he does turn out to be a villain. Like I said, if you know Spider-Man as well as I do, you will know that Mystiro is a villain, and he is evil with the holographic projections and the fishbowl on his head. So yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal did a great performance as Mystiro, and to be honest, he kind of didn't want Peter Parker to be too caught up in it and find out. You know, but when he found out that he knew his plan, he thought he had to kill him, which he did. Of course, we do have a quick stop in the Netherlands in this movie, with a little bit of comedy there, when he wakes up with those Dutch guys in a cell, because he gets hit by a train that heads to Holland. Tom Holland in Holland. Yeah. Yeah, I also like Jon Favreau returning as Happy Hogan. Of course, in this movie, you know, Peter Parker is still getting over the loss of Tony Stark after the events of Endgame. Sure, I'm not giving anything away about Endgame now because the Russo brothers lifted the ban like a month... the spoilers about a month ago, so I don't think I'm giving anything away. So, yeah. Yeah, this was a great tribute. They had a tribute as well in the opening scene with Tony Stark and Black Widow and Vision. Basically all those who have not survived Phase 3. Captain America too. Even though Captain America isn't dead, he's an old man, but mind you, he could have died. I don't know. He's out of the picture anyway now. Okay, so, yes, I also liked the visuals in this. I liked how they didn't stay in New York. They went from various cities, from Venice to Prague to Berlin to the Netherlands to London. I liked that. I also liked, the effects they had in this and Mysterio's clever planning and stuff, but wasn't, good enough to fool Parker. I just love this film. I love the story. I love the action. In fact, like I say in my spoiler-free review, this is one of those rare occasions where the sequel does better than the predecessor. I genuinely think this was better than Homecoming. My only flaw with it is they did have a lot of CGI, perhaps too much CGI, in the finale of this movie. But all in all, it was a great one. And also, Peter felt more independent this time. It's like in the last movie, he felt like, he relied on the suit too much with, I forgot her name already, Edith. But in this, he was more independent with being Spider-Man and didn't rely too much on the suit. And, yeah, Tony Stark, I'm sure, would be proud to know that his legacy is well kept with Peter Parker. Till his secret identity got blown out of proportion, from Mysterio moments before he was killed by Spider-Man. But hey, Spider-Man had no choice. He left him no choice. But of course, yeah. I also liked the characters of Maria Hill and Nick Fury from Samuel Jackson and Cody, Robin from How I Met Your Mother. Although that wasn't them throughout the entire movie, it was Skrulls. And how they brought that Skrull back, Talos from Captain Marvel. That was a great cameo. I like that. So I'm thinking, has he been on Earth for over 24 years? Anyway, final thoughts and ratings. Spider-Man Far From Home was a blast throughout. I enjoyed the hell out of it, so I'm going to give this 4 Batarangs out of 5. It's a great way to end Phase 3 of the MCU. Where will they go next in Phase 4? I don't know. That's the fun. For once, there isn't a saga to continue now that the Infinity Saga has come to a close. And this was a great aftermath for Phase 3. So, yes, that's it for this one. So, yeah, this has been my movie review on Spider-Man Far From Home. Spoilers, of course. So, if you're watching this, I assume that you're watching it because you've already seen the movie or you just want to be spoiled and know the movie. That's it for this review. I've been the Bat Nerd. Do you like this video? If so, please give it a big thumbs up and to share with your friends. And let me know what you think to the movie down in the comments below. We can have a discussion and yeah, be sure to, have I said subscribe and hit the bell? Oh, I have now. So yes, that's it for this video. So until next time, Bat Nerd out.